What if the strongest weapon against cancer is not a pill, not a surgery, and not some treatment waiting in the future, but something you do every morning before breakfast? What if the habits you repeat before 9 a.m. are either helping protect your body or quietly creating the perfect conditions for danger to grow? Here's a fact that should make anyone stop and think. By the time many men reach their 50s, studies of the body after death have found that a large number already carry tiny prostate cancers. Many women in midlife carry tiny cancer cells in breast tissue too. And by the time most people reach their 70s, very small cancer-like clusters can often be found in the thyroid. But here's the part most people never hear clearly enough. Most of these cells never become deadly. They never spread. They never turn into a real crisis. Not because of luck alone, not because medicine stepped in first, but because the body is already working every day to keep those cells quiet, boxed in, and starved of what they need. So the real question is not whether unusual cells may exist in your body. The real question is this: are your daily habits feeding them, or are they starving them? That is where everything changes. Because cancer cells do not grow well in just any environment. They do best where there is too much sugar, too much insulin, too much inflammation, poor blood flow, and weak cellular cleanup. And for many people over 50, modern life creates exactly that setting. But if you shift that inner environment, especially in the hours after waking, you change the message your body sends. You take away fuel, you cut off support, you make growth much harder. Stay with me, because once you see this clearly, your mornings may never look the same again. This is not fantasy. It is not a trend. It is not wellness talk with no science behind it. It comes from real biology, from how blood vessels grow, how metabolism works, and how the body follows its internal clock. These three worlds come together in one simple truth: what you do in the morning after 50 can shape your long-term cancer risk in a powerful way. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk through 6 key ideas that can completely change how you think about breakfast, fasting, movement, and the way your body defends itself while you sleep. We're going to look at the built-in process that clears damaged material from your cells overnight. We are going to talk about insulin and why it can act like a growth signal for the wrong cells at the wrong time. We are going to get into certain morning foods and drinks that help cut off the blood supply tumors need. And we are going to put it all together in a simple morning routine that many health experts quietly use themselves. Do not click away, because one of the most useful ideas in this whole discussion is also one of the cheapest and easiest to start. Here's the big picture. Your body already has a defense system against cancer growth. Your job is not to invent it. Your job is to stop getting in its way. That means your first hours of the day matter more than most people realize. They shape blood sugar, they shape hormones, they shape inflammation. They even shape how well your cells repair damage from the day before. And if you can improve just that window, you may be doing far more for your future health than you ever imagined. Let's start with what is happening inside you right now. Your body has a powerful system for controlling blood vessels. This process is called angiogenesis. In normal life, it is essential. It helps wounds heal. It helps the heart get oxygen. It helps tissues stay alive. It helps life grow and continue. But there is another side to it. Tiny tumors cannot become dangerous unless they build their own blood supply. They need fresh vessels to bring in oxygen and nutrients. Without that, they stay small, they stay weak, they stay trapped. Think of a weed in dry soil. If it gets no water, it stays tiny. It cannot take over the garden. But the moment water reaches it, growth explodes. Cancer works in a similar way. Many abnormal cells stay harmless because they never get access to the blood flow they need. That means one of your body's quiet victories is happening all the time. It is holding the line. It is keeping those cells from building supply routes. And your morning choices can either support that defense or slowly weaken it. Research has found that many natural compounds in food help block the unhealthy blood vessel growth that tumors depend on. That is a huge idea. It means food is not just calories. It is information. It is instruction. It is a signal. What you eat, when you eat, and how often you eat can help your body keep dangerous growth starved and small. And after 50, this matters even more, because the body becomes less forgiving. If this is already changing how you think, keep going, because the next part may be the most overlooked tool of all, and it costs absolutely nothing. Now let's talk about the overnight fast, because this may be one of the simplest cancer protective habits available. Most people think only about what they eat, but what you do not eat matters too. Every time you eat, your body releases insulin. Insulin has an important job. It helps move glucose from the blood into cells, but it also sends a growth signal. It tells the body that fuel is here and growth can happen. That is fine when the system is balanced. It is not so fine when insulin stays high too often, too long, day after day. Imagine abnormal cells as seeds sitting in soil. If conditions stay dry, they struggle. If the soil keeps getting rain, they get a chance to grow. In this picture, constant insulin is the rain. Frequent snacking, sugary meals, late-night eating, refined carbs early in the day, all of it can turn the soil into a far better place for trouble. Research has shown that fasting and time-restricted eating can change levels of glucose, insulin, and other growth-related signals in ways that may lower cancer risk. And one of the easiest ways to use that idea is to stop eating earlier at night and wait longer before your first meal the next morning. That could mean finishing dinner at 7 or 8 p.m. and waiting until 9 or even 10 a.m. to eat again. That 12 to 14-hour window is not punishment. It is not starvation. It is giving your body time to reset, time to keep insulin low, time to let repair systems work, time to send a clear message to any abnormal cells that there is no feast waiting for them. If you only change one thing after hearing this might be the place to start. But here is where many people undo the benefit without realizing it. They fast all night, maybe even into the morning, and then they break that fast in the worst possible way. This is the morning insulin trap. After a long fast, your body is in a cleaner state. Insulin is lower. Blood sugar is steadier. Cell repair has been active. Internal conditions are calmer. Then breakfast arrives, and it is a flood of sugar. Instant oatmeal with sweet toppings, a muffin on the way out, orange juice, sugary yogurt, a fruit-heavy smoothie with honey, sweet coffee drinks that taste more like dessert than coffee. In just minutes, the calm internal setting you built overnight can be blown apart. Glucose rises fast, insulin jumps, inflammation can increase, and the protective state you created begins to disappear. Cancer cells are known for using glucose at a very high rate. This is one reason imaging scans can find them. They light up because they pull in sugar so aggressively. So, when you hit your body with a sharp sugar surge first thing in the morning, you may be giving the wrong cells exactly the fuel they prefer. The better move is simple. When you finally break your fast, do it with protein and healthy fats first. Eggs, plain Greek yogurt, avocado, nuts, smoked salmon, a little cheese if it works for you. These choices usually create a gentler insulin response and help steady blood sugar rather than spike it. If you want fruit, berries are a stronger option because they tend to be lower in sugar and richer in helpful compounds. Pair them with protein or fat. That slows the rise in blood sugar and keeps the body in a more protected state. What you eat first does not just fill your stomach, it sets the metabolic tone for the next several hours. That first decision matters more than it looks. Now let's get practical, because this is where the science becomes something you can actually use tomorrow morning. Many of the foods studied for their anti-cancer effects are not rare, expensive, or hard to find. In fact, some may already be in your kitchen. Green tea is one of the best examples. It contains a compound called EGCG, which has been studied for its ability to help block the growth of blood vessels that feed tumors. That matters because if a tumor cannot build supply lines, it struggles to grow. A cup of green tea in the morning, especially before a meal or as your first drink after water, fits beautifully into a low insulin, lower fuel window. Then there are tomatoes, especially cooked tomatoes. They are rich in lycopene, a powerful compound linked with support against harmful growth, especially in prostate tissue. And here is the interesting part. Cooking tomatoes can make lycopene easier for the body to use. Add a little olive oil and absorption improves even more because lycopene is fat soluble. So something as simple as eggs cooked with tomatoes and olive oil becomes more than breakfast. It becomes a strategic meal. Berries matter too. Walnuts matter too. Olive oil matters too. These foods do not act like magic on their own, but together they create a powerful pattern. Food synergy is real. Certain foods work better in groups than alone. So instead of looking for one miracle item, think in layers. Think green tea, eggs, tomatoes, berries, walnuts, olive oil. Simple pieces, stronger together. Even coffee can fit here when it is taken in a clean form, without sugar, syrup, or heavy sweet cream. Black coffee, or coffee with just a small amount of unsweetened milk, may support metabolism rather than wreck it. This is the kind of strategy that feels almost too simple, which is exactly why so many people overlook it. And now we come to one of the most important ideas in this whole conversation, something still missing from many everyday health discussions. It is called autophagy. This is your body's cleanup system. While you are not eating, especially during the overnight fast, your cells begin to do deep housekeeping. Damaged proteins, broken parts, worn out cell machinery, pieces that no longer serve you. The body tags them, breaks them down, recycles what is useful, and removes what is harmful. Picture a city after midnight. The streets are quieter. Repair crews come out. Garbage is collected, damage is handled before the next day begins. That is what your cells are doing when the conditions are right. And one of the most important targets of this cleanup is material that could push a cell toward becoming dangerous. In other words, autophagy is not just about tidiness, it is part of your built-in protection system. It helps deal with damage before that damage becomes a bigger problem. But here is the catch. Autophagy fades when you eat, especially when insulin rises. So, if you cut the fast too short or break it with a high-sugar meal, you may be shutting down a valuable repair window too early. This is why a 13 to 14-hour overnight fast can be so powerful. It gives the cleanup crew time to work. It gives the body time to inspect, sort, and remove. And when you do eat, if you start with foods that keep insulin lower, you may extend some of that favorable state a little longer. This is not skipping breakfast just to skip breakfast. This is making room for process your body depends on. And once you understand that, mornings stop feeling random. They start feeling strategic. Keep watching, because the next part takes this beyond food and into the first 30 minutes after you open your eyes. Before we go further, if this is helping you see your health in a new way, take a second and subscribe. And I would love to know this too. What time do you usually eat your first meal? Do you wake up hungry, or do you already wait a few hours? Drop it in the comments, because sometimes the smallest shifts lead to the biggest results. Now let's talk about the part most people miss. It is not only about what you drink or eat, it is about what you do right after waking. Too many people open their eyes and instantly grab the phone. Notifications, messages, news, stress. They sit down, they scroll, they tighten their nervous system before their body has even finished transitioning into the day. Meanwhile, cortisol, your natural morning alertness hormone, is already rising. That rise is normal. It is meant to help you wake up, get moving, and release fuel for the day ahead. But when you pile artificial stress on top of it, things can go sideways. Cortisol can stay elevated too long, immune balance can suffer, inflammation can climb, blood sugar control can worsen, and all of that starts pushing the body toward the exact inner environment you do not want. The answer is not a brutal workout. It does not need to be dramatic. It needs to be smart. Gentle morning movement can make a real difference. A 20 to 30-minute walk is enough for many people. It helps muscles use glucose. It helps lower the rise in blood sugar that can happen after waking. It lowers stress in a cleaner way. It helps the body finish the shift from sleep to full function. It is simple. It is free, and for many people over 50, it may be one of the best things they can do before the first bite of food. There is another reason that morning walk matters. Light. Real morning light. Your body runs on timing signals, and one of the strongest signals is natural light entering your eyes soon after waking. That light tells your internal clock what time it is. It helps organize the whole day. Sleep timing, hormone release, hunger patterns, immune activity, cell repair. Even nighttime melatonin production is shaped by what happens in that first hour of the morning. And melatonin is not just a sleep hormone. It also acts as a strong antioxidant and supports many repair functions during the night. So when your mornings are spent indoors, under dim artificial light, staring at a glowing screen, the message to your brain gets weaker. The clock becomes less precise. Rhythm drifts. And when that rhythm drifts, the body can lose some of its ability to repair damage at the right time and control growth signals properly. This is why simply stepping outside for 5 to 10 minutes soon after waking can matter more than people think. You do not need perfect weather. You do not need a mountain view. You need daylight. Open the door, stand on the balcony, walk around the block, let your eyes see the morning, let your body know the day has begun. That light, paired with movement and a delayed first meal, creates a powerful chain reaction. Blood sugar becomes easier to manage. Stress hormones settle into a better pattern. Sleep that night is often better, and better sleep means better repair. That is how something as ordinary as a morning walk becomes part of a long-term strategy. It is not dramatic, it is biological. It is the kind of thing that seems small until you repeat it for months and realize your entire system is running differently. So what is the full morning routine actually look like when you put all of this together. It is surprisingly simple. You wake up, you do not rush to eat, you drink a large glass of water, you get outside, or at least get bright natural light into your eyes as soon as you can. You move your body for 20 to 30 minutes, not to punish yourself, not to burn off guilt, just to wake up your muscles, help move glucose where it should go, and settle your nervous system. After that, you can have green tea or black coffee if you enjoy it, keeping it free from sugar and sweet flavorings. Then, once you have reached that 13 to 14-hour point after your last meal, you break your fast with something that works with your biology, not against it. Protein first, healthy fats first, eggs with cooked tomatoes and olive oil, Greek yogurt with walnuts and berries, smoked salmon with avocado. Even a simple plate can do the job if the timing and the ingredients are right. This routine is not about chasing perfection. It is about stacking the odds in your favor. Every part supports the next. The fast keeps insulin lower. The movement improves glucose handling. The light supports circadian timing. The right first meal prevents a sharp insulin spike. And together, all of it helps your body stay in a state where harmful cells have a harder time getting what they need. That is the big idea. You are not trying to control everything. You are trying to stop sending the wrong signals over and over again. And if you can do that in the first few hours of the day, you may be changing much more than your breakfast. You may be changing the whole message your body lives in. Let's bring all of this back into one clear picture, because I want this to feel usable, not overwhelming. Your body already has systems designed to keep dangerous growth in check. It controls blood vessel growth, it repairs and removes damaged cell material, it follows internal timing signals tied to light and darkness. It manages fuel, hormones, and inflammation based on what you eat and when you eat it. But those systems work best when your habits support them. The problem is that modern life often does the opposite. Late dinners, constant snacking, sugary breakfasts, phone stress at sunrise, hours indoors, sitting too much. These are not random habits. They are instructions. They tell the body to keep insulin higher, keep inflammation active, weaken cleanup, and blur the timing signals that help repair happen on schedule. The good news is that the body responds fast when you change those instructions. Extend your overnight fast a little. Delay breakfast. Break that fast with protein and fat instead of sugar. Drink green tea or plain coffee instead of a sweetened drink. Move before you eat. Get natural light early. These are small actions, but together they build a very different inner world, and that inner world matters. Because cancer risk is not only about genes. It is also about terrain. It is about the environment inside the body. Is it rich in fuel for abnormal cells, or is it harder for them to thrive? Is blood sugar crashing and spiking all day, or staying steadier? Is cleanup happening well, or getting interrupted too early? Is the body in rhythm, or is it confused? These are not side issues. They are central. And once you understand that, your morning stops being just a routine. It becomes leverage, quiet leverage, daily leverage, the kind that may not feel dramatic in one day, but becomes incredibly powerful over years. Here is the challenge. Do not try to change everything tomorrow. Just change one thing, one honest step. Maybe tonight you eat dinner a little earlier. Maybe tomorrow morning you wait 1 extra hour before breakfast. Maybe you replace juice with green tea. Maybe you swap a sweet breakfast for eggs and tomatoes cooked in olive oil. Maybe you walk for 20 minutes before you eat instead of after. Pick the change that feels realistic, not heroic. Then repeat it. Pay attention. Watch your hunger. Watch your energy. Watch your focus. Many people notice a shift faster than they expect. They feel clear, less foggy, less driven by cravings, more steady. That matters because when your body starts working with you instead of against you, you feel it, and that feeling helps the habit stay. The goal here is not fear. It is not to become obsessed or to believe one perfect morning can guarantee safety forever. That is not how life works. The goal is to move the odds, to create conditions where harmful cells have less fuel, less support, and less opportunity. To give your body the timing, the nutrients, and the space it needs to defend itself well. That is powerful, and it is far more available than most people think. So tomorrow morning before breakfast, remember this. Your body is listening, your cells are responding, your habits are writing the environment they live in. Make that environment harder for danger to grow in, make it cleaner, make it calmer, make it leaner. Start small, but start. And if this gave you something useful, share it with someone who needs a better reason to take their mornings seriously. Because sometimes the biggest health shift does not begin with a major decision. Sometimes it begins with one quiet choice made before the day fully starts.